If you're using Salesforce and you're in the field often, whether you be a tech installer or doing site surveys or anything like that, chances are you'll be using your Salesforce One mobile app quite a bit. I'm going to just dive in real quick and show you how this will work for a technician. So let's go ahead and dive into the Salesforce One mobile app. When you first log in, the very first screen that will pop up will be your tasks. Now, as you can see here, I've got a task that I need to change my oil. A couple other things about the screen. If you'll notice in the upper right hand corner, there's a bell. If I click on that bell, it'll take me to other notifications that I've received recently. And if I click on the My Tasks, it'll give me a drop down of tasks that I need to do, tasks that I've completed recently, tasks that I've delegated to other people, and things that need to be done today. You can click on this task and go straight into it and read due dates or anything like that, or change status. Or when you're done with something, you can just click the box, and it'll take it off of your list. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into the different features of the app. So let's go up to the three bars in the top left-hand corner. And this will bring up your menu. Now, your menu is composed of several different things. First and foremost, at the top, you'll see the search bar. The search bar will allow you to search for service calls based on account name or location, address, anything like that. Expenses, projects, parts, files, anything that you need to have access to, you can find it through searching through that. Tasks will take you back to your task screen and allow you to manage your tasks. Let's go ahead and jump into service calls, and I'll show you a service call real quickly. Now, when you get to the service calls page, you'll see a few things will stand out to you. There's two types of items on this list. The first are the items like the Amarillo queue, OKC queue, and my open calls with the three lines beside them. Those are lists. So if I go into one of those lists, it'll have some more detailed information about the calls within that list. On your screen, you may have one that says recently completed calls. It may say incomplete calls. It may say parts pending calls. But your calls will be organized on this screen, and any calls that you have assigned to you that are open will be accessible to you on your app. Let's go ahead and dive into one of these, and I'll show you how to manage a call. So let's do this SC0060 for Test National Bank. It looks like they've got an issue with their CCTV. So if you look through this information, we've got address, equipment type, issue type, the description that the dispatcher typed in, required date, as well as contact info for who called it in. Now, this is all the information that you'll need to get where you need to go and to start your call. This call was just entered, so that age 0 means that it's 0 hours old at this point. So let's go down here to the bottom where you see these icons at the bottom and kind of go through what some of those mean. I'm going to click this little blue icon with the 3 dots, and that'll open up our list. Excuse me. Okay, you'll notice several things here, one being a new time ticket. So when I log into this call and I need to log my time, all I do is I go in and make the changes, put my time in and my time out. And then if I have any specific description of the work that I did that needs to go along with that time ticket, or an explanation of why it took so long or anything like that, I would put it in that bottom area. Or if it was an after hours call, I would click after hours. So once I click done and click save, I've logged the time for my call. The next icon you'll see is this little purple lightning flash. Now if I click that, it's going to open a customer signature window. and it's a work acknowledgement. So it's going to have some brief text basically explaining to the customer that the service has been performed, and that is basically the same information that's on the ticket now. So what they'll do is they'll sign, and we'll click save, and that'll save their acceptance signature along with it. The next icon you'll see is the little truck, which will be your travel time. This should be automated within the next week or so, but for the time being, you'll probably enter your dispatch time and your arrival time. I don't remember what time I started that job, and click save. Now, kind of going down the list a little bit more, there's a few other things that I'd like to point out. The next is the new part. So this is adding a part to the job. You'll be able to search parts by manufacturer, by part number, by any keyword that might be in the description with that part, maybe door motor or something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and add this test part. Quantity will be 1, and the part source, truck, local warehouse, or needed. I'm going to go ahead and put truck. Okay. And that adds a part onto this job. The next thing I wanted to discuss briefly was this new expense. So if I'm on a service call and I have to go buy, I'm not sure, anything that you might need for service call, how about duct tape? And I'm going to spend $4.25 on the duct tape. Put in my cost, and let me put in a description here. And on these service calls, all the expense types are going to be set by default to parts. Depending on what you're using, you might change that. I'm going to go ahead and save that, and we've logged that expense along with this job. Now, a couple of other things. I showed you the customer signature, acceptance signature. Now there's 2 more purple lightning bolts on here. One is for alarm interruption, and one is for forced entry. These are both signature records that will allow the customer to sign in the event that you have to interrupt their alarm or use forcible entry. There's also a file. If I click file, it'll allow me to take a note, use my camera to take a photo, or to use a photo that I've already taken. And then finally, at the very bottom, you'll see this assign. Not everyone will have access to this button, but assign allows you to take this particular service call and assign it to another technician. This will be used in the event that a service manager is in the field, or a lead technician who's responsible for assigning calls. So they'll type in the name of the user, and click save. And that'll be reassigned to that user. Okay, the last thing you'll do on the service call is this little wrench at the bottom, in the bottom left-hand corner. When I hit that, that's going to open up my update screen. So I change my status where I have complete, incomplete, parts pending, all that. Excuse me. Return call reason, work done, general repair, recalibration instruction, replace component. General repair, no parts will be default. General repair parts will be directly above it. Then description of work done. I already have a description in here because I've already done this, but this is where you'll type it, or use your microphone next to the space bar at the bottom to dictate to the phone. And then below that, issue cause, we've got general failure, wear item, customer error, teller error, act of God, electrical, or other. So you choose the most appropriate one. And then if for some reason you want to flag this so that somebody will take a look at it, go ahead and click this flag for review item at the bottom. And then once you've done that, you'll click save, and the call is done. As you can see, I got an email saying that that call was assigned to me. Okay, back to the menu. A couple things that I wanted to go over. Projects will be something that will probably not be live from the beginning of Salesforce, but it's something that's finished and ready to go and will be operational soon. So if I dive into projects, you can see I've got a list of projects, and within that project, I've got scope of work, pictures, bullet lists, anything that's intended to tell me about the job that I'm working on, whether that be an alarm installation, new units, deal drawer replacement, whatever. And then if you'll notice at the bottom, just like with the service call, I've got a place to log time, a place to log travel, and a place to log expenses, take notes, or to edit this particular project. This is so that we can associate expenses and time and travel with projects or with service, so we know where this time, where these expenses are associated. Let me go back to my menu just really quickly. Part library, this is something that may or may not be on your menu. You have access to the part library, but you will have access through the service call when you're adding a part to search for that. And then finally, files. Files is an area where we will have manuals, service documentations, drawings, and things like that. We've got a lot of that stuff loaded already, but more of that is coming and being updated as we speak. Now, really briefly, I wanted to go over a few of the settings. So if we'll click on settings here, these are very important settings to do. They'll help you stay on top of what you need to stay on top of. So when you go into settings, go to push notification settings, and you'll have different options for what you want to receive push notifications on your phone. Please go through these and set them in a way that's going to help you stay on top of what you need to stay on top of. And then that is it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at mattw@smithhamiltoninc.com.